Hello viewers, thank you for joining me. I anticipate this one being one of my shorter reviews. After a few heavy series in a row that I got really emotionally invested in, I started Blend S specifically because it looked like a light, easy watch, perfect for letting my brain relax a bit before jumping into another longer one. Blend S follows Maika, a young girl searching for her first job. She grew up in a very traditionally Japanese household and dreams of traveling the world, obsessed with anything foreign. Unfortunately, her job search isn't going very well. Maika is very sweet and naive, but when she smiles, it always comes across looking menacing. Blend S has a very cutesy art style, so it's debatable how successful the menace feels, but the intention gets across. Then she stumbles across Cafe Steel. She's immediately drawn in by Dino, the manager, who's originally from Italy, and Dino himself is an otaku, enthralled by her traditional Japanese looks and even her menacing eyes. Steel is a character cafe, where all the waitstaff play roles based on the anime tropes Dino's fallen in love with. Here she meets Kaho, who plays the tsundere character and spends just about everything she earns on video games. Mafuyu, who looks like a child despite being in college and plays the cute little sister character, though she's not someone to mess with in real life. Hideri, the idol, who dreams of actually becoming an idol, if only to avoid inheriting the family farm, and Miyu, who plays the caring older sister role, and who was drawn to this cafe because it gives her inspiration for the erotic manga she draws. They made for a fun, colorful group. Even the ones who seem ordinary at first are all revealed to be their own brand of nerdy. They complement each other, and Maika fits in her own way. She soon learns she was brought in to play the sadistic character, and is shocked to see how many of their patrons seem to love the insults and abuse. She struggles with the character internally, but she's awkward in a way that makes it work. Maika's so nervous about doing well that the sadist tends to come out by accident, blurting out things that anyone would assume were meant to be rude, even if that wasn't her intention. This whole concept was very fun. My favorite part of the series was definitely watching the girls put on their characters, discussing ways to perfect their roles. There was one episode where the cafe was so busy that they were struggling to stay in character. It was actually kind of sweet to see some of their regular customers step out of their own roles in this game to be openly worried about them, and entertaining to see the girls jump back into character twice as hard. I really wish the overall story had been more about this original cafe premise. By the time the series is about halfway through, the primary focus has really settled on the manager's crush on Maika. It's established in their very first meeting, and honestly, if they'd kept it as, just a comedic gimmick sort of thing, I don't think I would have minded, or even had all that much to say about it, but the series really starts leaning into treating it like a developing romance rather than a joke, and it got super uncomfortable to me, on multiple levels. On one hand, he's her boss. I don't think I need to explain in this day and age why that means he was crossing some serious lines. There was really just no going back for me after the episode Dino takes her shopping for a bathing suit. A lot of enjoying fiction relies on maintaining that suspension of disbelief. This one was just too personal to me. I've had that boss who got caught asking my barely out of high school coworker about her bathing suits. And that got played off as something kind of innocent. He actually no longer works at that job due to some of the things he was texting me. And before that point, I considered him to be a little like the way the series portrays Dino, quirky and eccentric in an endearing way. Trust me, that fondness doesn't survive the moment your boss starts being a creep and crossing those employee-boss boundaries. It was uncomfortable to see how oblivious she was to his intentions, and disturbing to see her coworkers and siblings start encouraging him by the end. And even without the workplace connection, there's the age difference. Once both parties reach a certain age, a 10-year gap doesn't mean a whole lot. 16 and 26 are not those ages. And the personal connections just kept going because I'm currently 26. And let me tell you, when I see a 16-year-old, I see a child. The thought of someone my age viewing a high schooler as a potential romantic partner is just gross. It's really a shame, actually, because when this series chose to focus on almost literally anything else, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was fun, and could even be kind of wholesome. There was just something about these characters. Whenever they'd pair off for some kind of activity outside of work, each duo had a very distinct dynamic. Mafuyu and Kaho were particularly sweet. Mafuyu may look like a kid, but she really stepped in to be an older sister of sorts when she was with Kaho, helping her study for a makeup test, making sure she wore sunscreen at the beach and gloves at the ski slope. Hidari was kind of a troll, and I enjoyed seeing Miyu always manage to get the upper hand with that teasing. I would have liked to see more interactions between Maika and her co-workers, as apparently she's never really had friends before, but I've said enough about what her storyline ended up being. So yeah, this is very much one you'd have to judge for yourself, but it wasn't for me. Thank you for watching.